This is some explanations to go with station number 2 for those of you who were not in class today, or for those of you who just want to look over it. So the kind of essential question, or the purpose that we're trying to figure out is that with solar and lunar eclipses, in terms of how frequently they occur or the duration of time in between them, is there some kind of a pattern that might help us understand what's going on? Is there a pattern to their occurrence? So the things that we need to do this are dates, which I will provide to you in a spreadsheet in your computer in a spreadsheet application. We're going to be looking at the eclipse dates for calculations file. It's downloadable in the topics on KeysNet. We're going to notice all the column headings and scroll down and see the whole file. Then we're going to find the difference in days between the lunar eclipse and the next by using an Excel formula to subtract one date from the previous one. We're going to calculate the number of months the days represents by using a formula, and we can use 29.5 days to equal 1 month. We'll copy and fill down the formula to complete all the timing for the lunar eclipses, and we're going to look at the pattern in the numbers. What is the most amount of time in between lunar eclipses? What is the least amount of time in between lunar eclipses? And is there an overall pattern? We're going to repeat steps 1 through 4 for solar eclipses. And then we're going to think about what the least amount of time in between a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse is. So we'll look at maybe 5 solar eclipse dates and find the lunar eclipse dates that happens the closest in time to that one, and do a little bit of calculation and figure out how long it is in between one type and the other type. So that's basically what we're doing. So this is what the file looks like. As you can see, there's solar eclipses and there's lunar eclipses. And I can do a little formula in here. I can say this is going to equal this minus this. Now this file as well is in topics on KeysNet. So this is the number of days in between this July date and this January date. And if I want to know how many months that is, I can say equals this divided by 29.5. I've asked it to round to the tenths place. Now I don't know if you remember this, but you can highlight both of them and click and drag. Remember this really cool application? And this shows us some stuff. Okay? And you can do the same thing over here for the lunar eclipses. And what I'm looking at is I see some 6. Is there a pattern to the 5s and the 1s? There's a few 5s and 1s. And there's 6s and 5s and 1s. And this right here I think is a mistake. If anyone wants to try and figure out what the actual date is in 2036, let me know and we can fix this. But I do think that there's some accident. Something in here is wrong. But other than that, everything else to me looks pretty accurate. So the question would be, what's going on there? So your challenge is to, in your station number 2, you can copy bits and pieces of the data if you like. You could take the whole thing or some of it and copy and paste it into your station 2. You're going to want to put in a purpose and a materials and methods and a title and a date. You're going to want to put some data in there, and then you're going to have some observations. And if you want to try and do any graphing with the numbers, you could. Basically, that is what you're going to be doing. So good luck.